Hi, I'm Seymour Duncan, and today we're going to be working on a Les Paul guitar, solid body. Basically, it's two pickups. It has a toggle switch which activates one or the other pickup or both. Look over the guitar, make sure everything's okay with it. Look at the frets, see how that's doing. And when you take a guitar apart, I have a notebook which I always draw the schematic. I pretty much know where all the parts are going to go out of habit of doing it, but it's best for you guys starting to write down everything that you're going to do, so if you make a mistake you can always go back and wire it back the way you originally had it. And the first thing I do too is on the guitar is I'm going to remove the strings, but what I always do is I loosen them because you don't want to cut the strings, or if you want to keep the strings, you know, replace them, but these I'm going to change out. These are pretty old rusted strings. Now, very important, before you do anything with the guitar, make sure, like this loose tailpiece, you remove it, because when you turn it over it can smack on the guitar or remove it. And I always remove the bridge part too. So okay, I'm going to look at the guitar, make sure nothing's loose here that's going to fall off when I flip it over. And I just like putting a little piece of tape right over the screws, so when you turn it, or if it rubs against the bench, it's not going to change, so you get the height back to where it originally was for the player. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the back of the instrument. Okay, and leave the pickups in. I'm not going to take those out yet. If you look at the front here, this is the volume control for the treble pickup. This is the bass control for the treble pickup. And when it switches up, it'll work the neck pickup. This is the neck pickup and neck pickup tone. So if you're looking at this potentiometer here, or this one, we're going to be working on this one right here now that has the long wire. So when you flip it over, you're going to see right here is that potentiometer. What we're going to do is I'm going to start removing this pickup, which is the bridge pickup, and then this other wire here is the neck pickup that comes in to the number 3 lug on the volume control here. Sometimes, you know, you may get a cold solder joint or oxidation in between an actual solder joint, and it's good to check it. I always use a digital ohm meter, and with using this you can actually see. Now what I'm going to do is touch the 2 potentiometer casings, and it should go to 0, and right there, see, I'm getting a solid continuity, so that's really good. So you hold the wire here and then you hit the number 3 terminal to remove the lead pickup. See, and it comes out quite easily. You gotta sometimes look at it, because there may be a lot of flashing actually on the wire here, and that can make it difficult to get it through. It may snag or catch on another piece of wire. So a little trick, what I do is sometimes take a little piece of masking tape, and I'll put it right in front of the solder terminal here, and I'll wrap this around real tight, and as I do that, it'll give a smooth surface on it, and it'll make it smooth. So when you pull it through, it won't snag up or be held up on anything. So that's just a little quick tip. This is why I should always wear glasses too, because this stuff, when you pull it, it could really... There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the bridge pickup. Okay, as you lift, you can look inside the cavity. So you just pull it through, lift it up a little bit so there's no snag, and see, it comes out real nice and easy. What we have now is we have the guitar ready to install new pickups. We're going to put this one back in, and always make sure you have the proper angle of the mounting ring. It's usually thicker as it goes towards the bridge, so you want the thick side on the right hand side, and you want the thin side closer to the fingerboard area here. And then I'm going to feed it through and keep the wire straight and make sure you don't have any snags, and you're going to keep pushing it through. Now I'm going to turn the guitar over very carefully. Hold on to it and see if I can see the wire coming through yet. I can see it down there. There we go. Start pulling it through. Just pull it a little bit just so you got enough to grab it when you do it. So hold that up, and then you grab it from the other side and pull it through. Now what you want to do too is you want to screw the pickup back in with the mounting ring, because if you don't, if you turn the guitar over, it'll flop out. The legs can hit the body, you can scratch it, you can put a ding in it. Now here's the bridge pickup, and make sure that you have the adjustable side towards the thick side, because when it's put in, it's going to be going this way, so you want this next to the bridge. And that's how traditionally they did it Okay, now again, put your screws back in. What I do is always use my little rag here again. Clean all your fingerprints off and get all your smudges out of it and everything, and it just makes it look good. Usually I unsolder from the potentiometer area first, and then I pull the wire out. But in this case, what I'm going to do is cut the wire to length and then insert it into the number 3 lugs on each potentiometer. Now what I'm going to do is get a good measurement, just leave a little flexibility just for habit, you know, you just do it. Then usually on this type of wire, after you trim it, you can just shove back the sleeving just about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch, and then keep pushing it up out of the way. And then I twist it, and it keeps it a little bit tight around the cloth braid on this particular wire. Cut just a little bit off the tip and twist it. Make sure you're using pretty sharp cutters, and then make sure you're using, like this says 22 gauge, so I'm using the actual last hole in the cutter here for this particular gauge wire. This is 22 gauge wire that we're using. Okay, there we go. That's all right. Yeah, that's all I do. Bring it back. You use your needle nose because you don't want to burn your fingers, or this gets very hot. Hold it down in there, and we're going to number 3 lug again on the volume control. There we go. Now we're going to check continuity. Sure, we got something that's 8.5 and 7.6. The potentiometers, you know, you check them, you spray them with a little bit of Krylon contact cleaner, and it works pretty good. Now I'm going to put the back on. Anyway, that's about it. We've got the pickups in. What I like doing, instead of putting the string in this way, here's the way a lot of guys do it. They'll put it here, and then they'll start cranking it like 100 times. So it's going to put more wear and tear on the actual gears. So what I enjoy doing is I hold it and I wrap it around 3 times like this. So it works out pretty good. And then I'll hold it pretty tight. I mean, you can hold it pretty firmly and put it through. Okay, now we've got the strings all put on, and I'm going to show you how I adjust the pickups to the actual string and the height. I check to make sure the frets and everything are good. I look at the string height for what the person wants, and then what I do is I hold down the top E string and the low E string, and I look where I have a depth here. I have about 200,000, so it's a little over 1/16 inch. So that would be a 0.062, I should say. Bridge side looks pretty good. I'm going to bring the bridge up maybe a hair. The bridge is pretty low here. I usually keep that pretty close too. I like getting the screws pretty flush with the top of the cover. Then as I press the high string, I bring that up to about 1/16 of an inch. Right about there. And the bass side I bring up pretty high too. Okay, as long as you're not hitting, see, that sounds fine right there.